Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back to the very first weekly home fragrance roundup of 2024. I hope your year is off to a great start. I am joined today by my trusty assistant Alf, per usual. He's already in my lap. So if you are new to my channel here, this is Alf. He's my little black pug, and typically anytime that I am sitting down anywhere, he's automatically in my lap. And he's cute, so I let him do it. But that does mean that you might hear some weird noises or whatever in the background, especially if you have earbuds in. So that's just the free pug ASMR that comes along with my channel. If you want to know what it's like to live with a pug, the different noises and stuff, it's this. This is a small sampling, usually. So, but he's a good boy, and I love that he joins me for these videos, and I love that he is joining us for another year of home fragrance. So anyway, everyone, welcome Alf. All right, you guys, before I get into all of the chit chat here, the usual disclaimer, check out the description box below this video. She is always a plethora of information. I put candle sale information, at least for the companies that I personally tend to favor, in the description box. There's discount codes down there. There is Candle Crock Candle Lamp 101. If you're not familiar with either of those two candle accessories, you might want to watch that video. There's links to my favorite crocks and lamps. My favorite crocks are actually back in stock again, and they're not the Amazon ones. So I would say if you're in the market for one, get them before they sell out again, because it seems like these crocks are getting a little bit harder and harder to find, especially neutral ones. I mean, you can find a ton of candle crocks with like all sorts of like inspirational quotes or like religious messages or like, I don't know, kitschy decor. I like things to be a little bit more neutral, and these two that I link down below in the description box are very neutral. They should fit in with most decors. So yeah, anyway, check that out. There's some ideas down there on what to do with leftover wax, either if you melt your candles or you use wax melts, things like that. So there's a lot of information down there. It does take me a while sometimes to respond to comments. I do work, so it's a little bit harder for me sometimes to just sit down and take like, honestly, it would take me like an hour or more a day to like respond to comments. I do have a lot of older videos on my channel, and those older videos also get comments. And the way that YouTube like presents the comments section to me on like the studio side of things, like the YouTube studio side, that creators have access to, it just kind of like, it goes by newest first. So that newest comment might be on a video from like 2013, or it might be from a video last Tuesday. And so I try to keep up with it as best as possible, but honestly, sometimes it just takes me a while to get back to comments. So if there's like, if you have a question that like you feel like needs to be answered, you can also DM me over on Instagram. You can find me over there. It's just MrKongsMom. I don't really do much in the way of candle content over there. It's mostly just, hey, look at my pugs. They're cute. So anyway, all right, let's get into it. Let's start chit-chatting. First of all, I'm so bummed that Christmas is over. I have definitely entered the like sadness portion of the after Christmas season for me. I just get really bummed. I think more so than like putting the festive decor away, which is also a major bummer. I think it's just that like people's vibe kind of changes, and it just goes back to being like, meh, you know, everyone's like, meh. I just love how nice people are during the holidays. I love how just jolly and excited people are, and how they're just more generous and caring and, you know, all that stuff. That being said, I'm trying to have a positive attitude. Despite not really knowing what to melt or burn at the start of the new year. This is my struggle at the start of every new year. Honestly, this was a week of still trying to finish up some things from the holidays. I don't like putting away used candles for the following like year, and I'm a pretty seasonal burner, so I just kind of am trying to finish things up so that they are out of the system. I'm also still on this like never-ending mission to essentially whittle down my candle collection, which is so much better than what it was several years ago. Honestly, I'm really proud of myself. It's not easy. This year, I'm going to continue to purchase new fragrances to renew here on my channel, but I am still very much restricting myself from purchasing a bunch of backups. I just don't think that I need that because it's very hard to go through like hundreds and hundreds of candles a year. And I still want to enjoy the stuff that I already purchased last year, the year before that, 5 years before that. Like, I have home fragrance from probably 2010 in my collection. And for me at this point in my life, that feels kind of absurd. And I'm just trying to get it to where I do still have, you know, candles on hand, but I don't need like 200 candles on hand. Like, that's not a necessity for me anymore. And I'm not saying that if you are a candle collector that that's bad. Like, if you have the room for it, if you have the like the space in your brain for it, if it doesn't overwhelm you, then you should do what makes you happy. But the older I get, the more overwhelmed I get by clutter. And so I'm just kind of trying to simplify things just a little bit. But will I ever not use home fragrance? No. Like, it makes me happy. This stuff just brings me joy. That's why I do it. That's why I spend money on it. That's why I keep talking about it. It's something that is very peaceful to me. It makes me happy. It evokes a lot of fond memories for me, and I just like it. I have my entire life, and it's just one of those hobbies that I just enjoy. So anyway, I want to know what your New Year's resolutions are for home fragrance, whether it has to do with, you know, kind of refining your collection, or whether you are wanting to try new brands. I definitely have, you know, the fact that I am continuing to whittle down my collection. I want to try some new brands this year. There's some brands that I started to get into last year that I want to like delve into a little further. I'm kind of interested in a few more of like the luxury candle brands. I've struggled a little bit here and there with that, but I think I'm just not finding the right format with some of these companies. So, you know, just kind of testing things out and, you know, splurging a little bit on more expensive candles, but then also, you know, continuing to review the things that are a little bit more affordable maybe, and that most people would probably have more of an interest in. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this year. I have a pretty good positive, despite being sad about Christmas being over, I have a positive attitude about this year. I just think that I'm at a place in my life where I'm really fortunate with, you know, everything that's going on for me, and I just want to continue to be thankful and embrace life as it comes, and take care of myself, take good care of myself. And I would encourage you to do the same. Make all your doctor's appointments. It's kind of what this first part of the year is all about for me. That's not fun, but it's a necessity. So if you need to make some doctor's appointments, here's your reminder. All right, you guys, let's start talking about some of these things that I was burning and melting this week. Like I mentioned, I am still finishing some things up. So right now I only have one candle lit, and it's actually behind me right here. Can you even see it? No, because that Scentsy warmer is just like, that has a 40-watt Edison bulb in it, and she is shining bright, isn't she? Also, how cute is that picture of Penny and Craig? They crack me up. We had professional portraits done. Like, we haven't done family portraits since Stella was born, basically, and so we finally did that. Was it last year or the year before? Oh my gosh, I think we actually had these done in 22. Anyway, doesn't matter. They're adorable. I love that picture. It cracks me up. But this is Marshmallow Fireside. It's burning right behind me. I love Marshmallow Fireside. Now that is a great transitional scent. I love it during the holidays. I also like it during the fall, but I also think it makes a good January scent. When I think like January, honestly, one of the first fragrances that comes to mind for me is Marshmallow Fireside. So she's a good one. That's the only one that's burning right now. I am currently still in the process of taking down all of my holiday decor. So I haven't lit a bunch of like candles. Typically I have 2 or 3 going at any given time, but this week it's been more like 1 at a time, and it's just because I'm busy like packing things away. I'm like hyper organized about it this year, so I'm just kind of a little bit more focused on that. I do have vanilla balsam from Bath and Body Works going in the candle crock that is in the laundry room, and then upstairs in the back bedroom I have another candle crock, and I have the last little tiny bit of the LAFCO hazelnut Torone in there, and it had burned all the way to the bottom, but it tunneled like all LAFCO candles that I've purchased so far have done for me. That's one of those brands that I think I need to branch out and try some of their multi-wick candles. Like the 1-wick candles just aren't doing it for me, basically. So anyway, I have that one going up there. It's a great scent. It didn't come back this last holiday season. I had that one left over from the year before. So, but that's it. I don't have any of my lamps out quite yet. So the candle lamps will be coming out because I will be continuing to melt more candles underneath the lamps as well this year. Again, in an effort to whittle down my candle collection. No, I do not see crocking or lamping candles as a waste personally. I get the fragrance out of the candle that way. No, I don't get the ambiance, but guess what? I always have a candle lit somewhere, so I'm still getting ambiance. And once I turn my Crocs on, it's basically like 24-hour fragrancing. It's almost like with those wall plugins, right? Like, what are they called? Wallflowers. Bath and Body Works calls them wallflowers, but it's just like the constant fragrance in the background, right? So I like that. Anyway, Crocs are fantastic. If you do not have a Croc yet, I think even more so than lamps, Crocs are so useful. Unless you like candles that just have a very like wide circumference to them. In that case, you know, anything wider than, say, for example, a Bath and Body Works or a Yankee candle, those all fit into candle crocks, and obviously anything smaller as well. But if you're going wider than that, then a lamp is probably going to be a better option for you. So it just depends on, I guess, the candles that you tend to prefer in terms of their format. Yeah, now that we've gone through that, let's talk about what I finished this week. So this was a pretty good week for finishing candles. Where? Dude, I had more empties. Oh, they're on the stairs. I'm not gonna go get them. Okay, so Christmas confetti and gilded garland. I already have them on the stairs to take them up for my empties at the end of this month. But HomeWorx gilded garland and the Christmas confetti, I finished burning those this week. Those were pretty good scents, I would say, as like transitional fragrances. HomeWorx was having some pretty good deals on their website, and I don't know if that's still continuing this week, and I haven't taken a look at what the candle sales are for this weekend. But yeah, if you're interested in picking anything up, either to save it for next holiday season or to, if you're not a seasonal burner, to burn it now, I think those candles are on a pretty good deal. And I think you can also combine my discount code to get an additional 50% off. But anyway, this was another candle from that collection, which is Merry Marshmallow. I did an in-depth review of all three, and in my review of this one, I said that it was basically vanilla bean macaron, and I did have a backup of vanilla bean macaron. By the way, this one burned great. I did have a backup of vanilla bean macaron. Geez Louise, I had a backup of vanilla bean macaron that I was able to like compare side by side. I think they're the exact same scent. They have slightly different fragrance notes, but I think it's the same scent. And this is something that I think HomeWorx has been doing quite a bit lately, which is repackaging a lot of their scents. I don't mind that. I think that's great. But if you are someone who doesn't like repackages, that might be kind of annoying to you. I feel like with some of the repackages last year that HomeWorx had mentioned on their website, like whether it was like a returning favorite or whatever or not, but I don't remember seeing that about this one on the website when I ordered it. So at any rate, I love this. If you happen to find either Merry Marshmallow or Vanilla Bean Macaron, that's a great scent from HomeWorx. I think that's the best, like the very best, more like straightforward vanilla that they've had. Okay, this was the very last, it doesn't look like a HomeWorx anymore because I took the label off for Christmas. But this is my very last 3-wick harvest leaves, you guys. So this was one of the original 3-wicks. You can see those large wick clips at the bottom there. This burned quite well, and she was strong. She was from 2017. That's when I purchased this, is 2017. That's embarrassing that it took me this long to get to it. But you know why it did? Because I had that mentality of, oh, it's special. It's a 3-wick. You can't get 3 wicks. You can get 3 wicks, but not these 3 wicks. I think some of us are annoyed with the new 3 wicks from HomeWorx. Like I prefer their 4 wicks. Now, these are the same size as the new 4 wicks, but they came with 3 wicks originally. And I think that this is definitely when HomeWorx was in its prime, obviously. The strength and throw of this was incredible. I mean, it's been sitting for several years, so it's just kind of been like marinating, I guess you could say, or curing. I know there's a lot of people who don't believe in candle curing, but I don't know, man. I think this is way stronger than it was from the beginning, but yeah, it's still one of my favorite scents from HomeWorx. I will have, by the way, my favorites from like my go-to brands coming up tomorrow. The first one should be going up tomorrow. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. I've been doing the best of 2023 series when it comes to like beauty content here on my channel for the first part of January. But starting tomorrow and like throughout next week, I will be doing some home fragrance favorites as well. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's talk some orange pomander, which I'm still probably going to burn through, I would say, the majority of January. I think orange pomander scents are great for the start of the new year as well. So, but I did finish up spiced orange and clove, and then here it was called spiced orange pomander. It's the same scent. One was from Crate & Barrel, one was from the Nest website. This is a discontinued scent, so you can't get it. Anyway, I finished this one. This one burned down to the wick clip and extinguished itself. Beautiful, beautiful clean wax the whole way down. This is a totally different story. You guys, this got so dirty and gross after the halfway point, which is what always happens with the Nest 3 wicks for me. It doesn't matter whether it's a citrus scent or whether it's a pumpkin scent or whether it's whatever kind of scent. Like, these 3 wicks always get dirty on me and I don't understand it. So actually the way that the wax was, it's the weird, is it from the wicks? I don't know where this blackness comes from, but it's probably from the wicks. Anyway, it started to like kind of contaminate the smell of the actual scent. And so I poured off a bunch of the wax, and then when it hardened, I trimmed the wicks. So I still have a little bit here that I'm gonna finish probably between today and tomorrow. But yeah, that's why this looks kind of funky. I basically just had to pour off like a pretty decent layer of wax here, which bummed me out. That feels like such a waste of money, but I could definitely smell a difference in the fragrance just because of, you know, the residue from the wicks or the soot or whatever was causing that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with the 1-wick candles from Nest, which bums me out. I'm definitely not going to purchase like the 4 or 5 wick sizes. I just have a feeling they're probably gonna do the same thing. I mean, it's the same wax. So I just think that the larger you go with these in terms of format, like for whatever reason, this particular type of wax, which I believe is coconut wax, it just seems to get gross after a while. So is that going to stop me from purchasing 1-wick candles from Nest? No. They have some great scents, you guys. And I think they're worth splurging on. But I would never personally recommend the 3 wicks. I would stick with the 1-wick candles. And I get decent strength and throw out of the 1-wick candles. I would say pretty comparable to what I get from the 3 wicks. So there really is no reason for me to spend the money on the 3 wicks when the 1-wick performs essentially the same. And I don't have to deal with it getting gross. All right, I was burning some Cozy and Warm this week. This is obviously from Kringle. This is a great coffee scent from them. It's a nice kind of creamy coffee scent. It's really, really good, you guys. So this one is super enjoyable. This is a great transitional scent. If you're looking for one, this is one I would wholeheartedly recommend. It's not on sale yet. I don't know when it will go on sale. Typically with Kringle, when it comes to new fragrances, they usually won't go on sale for quite some time after they're released, but you can use my discount code to save at least 15% on those. By the way, there's also a new Reserve candle collection that is dropping. I am supposed to receive them in PR. I think that's supposed to be delivered on Monday. So I will have a first sniff impressions for you on that, and I will try to actually burn them all the day that I get them and just do some initial reviews before the candles actually launch. They're launching on the 11th. So I should have at least a couple days to try to pull something together. Maybe I'll even do that over on Instagram just to let you know about the strength and the throw. But yeah, anyway, I'm really excited about a couple of the scents, and if I love them, I will allow myself like one of each of those new scents in terms of ordering it at the release. But I can't shop the way that I used to. I have to break that habit. I really do. So anyway, Knit Sweaters is also from that same collection as Cozy and Warm. It's part of the winter collection. Knit Sweaters is a great cashmere scent. It reminds me a lot of Vanilla Sandalwood from Bath & Body Works back in the day. Do you remember that one? Ooh, fabulous. Anyway, this smells exactly like that to me. So if you miss that from Bath & Body Works, enjoy that. It is so similar. Great performance out of both of those. Solid medium strength and throw. By the way, I am really hopeful and excited that this is the year that Kringle will be coming out with additional wicked candles. So larger, bigger format candles. I think that's going to be the real game changer for Kringle. I see a lot of people in the comments complaining about the fact that Kringle candles are only like a medium throw typically. I don't know. I have leveled my expectations a little bit when it comes to candles, because this is like, there's only so much that you can get out of a candle that has like this size of opening, you know, and typically the wax pool is somewhere around an inch or so. Like when you have a larger opening, like you're gonna get more in terms of strength and throw, obviously. I think this is also why a lot of people are super disappointed in the strength and throw of the HomeWorx candles as well. Like for the size of this thing, it should still be a beast, right? Like it should be, but we'll see how HomeWorx does this year in terms of strength and throw. But yeah, like this is why I think Kringle really needs to expand their offerings in terms of like the size of the vessels. I think you're gonna get much more strength and throw once you see the larger format from them. So if you have not purchased from Kringle because of that, don't write them off altogether. I think these new candles are gonna be a game changer. So I'm really excited for them. But yeah, like medium, like that's just, I don't know. I think the older I get, the more that I kind of tend to like tamper my own personal expectations of like everything in life. Believe me, when I was younger, I had all sorts of opinions about everything, and I still have opinions, but I just try to be a little bit more understanding about things. So, yeah, anyway, that's a little bit about my approach to life. I've also been burning this, wishing for Christmas, because that's what I'm doing right now. This is one that I started this year, so, oh, it's so good. It's pine and sugar cookie. It's a really great combo. I think I'll definitely finish this one in January. So we'll keep going with that one. It's not, like it's definitely a Christmas scent, but it's one that I think I can stomach in January without too much of like, you know, the depression hitting me when I smell it. But yeah, another one that I'm also going to be finishing. I don't have the heart to put this into a candle crock because it's performing great for me, and it's my scent. I love it. It's Vintage Pomander. This is supposed to come back this next holiday season. I'm actually hoping that if the larger jars are available, I'm hoping that Mick may consider putting this into a larger format. I know some of you said that the strength and throw of yours was quite light. Like that shouldn't be the case at all. It should be a solid medium performer, just like all the other Kringle candles. So if you had one that was more on the lighter end of the spectrum, definitely let Kringle know. Either send them a DM over on Instagram. I've been trying to pass that information along to Kringle as well, because when I was going through and creating this and they were sending me the samples, like I specifically picked like these wicks because I thought these wicks actually made the biggest difference in terms of the strength and the throw with the formula and the oils and everything. And all of mine have performed great. So if yours are not, then definitely, you know, give that feedback to Kringle. I think it's important that they have that. So if they need to make an adjustment, that they can do that. But yeah, I don't know. I burned one of the ones that was like off of the, like the actual release line, if you will. What I'd been burning up to the point where it was released were just my lab samples, and those performed beautifully. And the one that I burned from the actual like pour, it performed exactly the same. So there shouldn't be a difference, and if there is, that means that there was a problem somewhere. And if Kringle is one thing, it is they're willing to take feedback about their product and like make changes, which is I think why I just appreciate them so much. They're totally open to feedback, so I love that. I think most candle companies are not. Let me just tell you, but Kringle is. I think that's really different and unique in the candle world. So anyway, okay, the last candle that I want to mention is the Vanilla and Musk from Bath & Body Works. This is also a great one for January. Honestly, I think that vanilla scents in general are great for January. They're just a great transition any time of year. So yeah, love that one. I hope that comes back. Now let's talk wax melts. There's only a few. Fall into Love. Actually, you know what? I didn't use that this week at all. Ignore that. Currently, I have these going, and I don't even have all of my Scentsy warmers on. So this is Caramel Praline Cake. This is delicious. It kind of reminds me of my beloved Almond Croissant. This is really good. Slightly different. Very, very similar, but different. I don't even know if you can still get this. I'm sure this will show up in some kind of sale at some point. If you see this in the sales section, get it. So good. Anyway, love it. Should have probably added it to my club, but didn't. So I don't think that I can anymore, which is fine. I finished the Frosted White Pine. I only had like a couple of these left, and I've been using these in the downstairs guest bathroom. And then the very last thing I want to mention here is, oh, this disgusted me, you guys. I actually really like this on Cold Sniff. This is Midnight Mahogany. This was a release, I believe this was in the holiday section. It was in the fall winter catalog. So Midnight Mahogany, you guys. Ugh, this on Cold Sniff, I really like it. It's kind of perfumey and powdery. But when I was burning this, not burning it, melting it, oh, it grossed me out. It smelled like pure baby powder, and like not even like a good baby powder. Every single warmer that I put this into, once it like melted, it was an amazing performer. Let me tell you, my entire house smelled like baby powder. And I was like, this makes me want to vomit. I had to turn it off. I had to pour that wax out. I couldn't let it go. I did not like this when it was melting. That is one of the first times that something like this has happened to me with Scentsy. Oh, couldn't stand it. What are your thoughts on Midnight Mahogany? I just, never again. Nope, nope, nope. Don't like that at all. Not a fan. So anyway, that was, I guess, a waste of $6, but that's fine. Anyway, you guys, that's it for the first week of the new year. Let me know what you were burning and melting this week in the comments down below. Let me know your goals, your home fragrance goals for this year. And thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much. I look forward to another really great year of home fragrance content here, and I hope you guys are excited for it. So obviously, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful or were entertained by it in any kind of way, or just give a thumbs up for Alf. Helps the algorithm. And subscribe if you're new. All right. Anyway, you guys, thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.